Hello everyone! In this video I will show you how to work in your DevTools in Chrome more productive and more quicker. And the code for this you can find on my GitHub account in DevTools gulp skeleton repo. So, very common situation when we're working on front-end task is first we need to change some CSS styles and we need to change some scripts, JavaScripts for example. And what we usually can do, we can change something in our editor, then come back to browser, update, see, let's come back to editor. Well, you got the idea, so it's kind of circle and it's not very nice. The other thing what we can do, we just can move to our DevTools and work right here in our this style panel, but these changes are not synchronized with our editor, and then again we in the same circle we need to update again manually our code in editor. So let's break the circle, and the idea of this repo in this video is to do everything synchronously. If you change something in your IDE, your browser should update right after these changes. If you change something in browser in Chrome, your code should be updated in your editor and your browser should be also updated. So one action for everything. And as I said before, we will use gulp, but let's look first how it works, and then I will explain a little bit about the code. So, for example, first we need to change our CSS. For example, we need to change a color of this link. As you see here, I have actually not CSS, not my distribute files, but less. It's because I'm using source maps, but I will again explain a little bit later about this. So, for example, we need to change our color. We come to the style panel and we click on color, and here you see that I am directly in my source file. In my less files, and here I can change this variable. For example, for red, save it. It will display only first time, so I'm saving it. And actually I'm waiting that that link will be updated. Let's look if we run our watch. No, we didn't run. So let's run our watch and do this again. Okay, refresh it. So again, for example, green, save it, and we have green, right? Red, and let's return to blue. Okay, it's wonderful. As you see, let's make again. I'll change it on red. You see these changes on browser, and I can even update the window, and you will see the changes, and actually you will see that the changes are also here and in our distribute files. So here, it's great. Let's return back to blue. To do this, to make this CSS changes synchronously, what we need to do in Chrome, we need to update our settings. First, we need to enable JavaScript source map. We will use it a little bit later. We need to enable CSS source map, and we need to enable auto reload generated CSS. So let's do next. I will explain how it actually works. So we have our gulp file. And in this file we have some tasks. as you know, we run watch, and in this watch file we have watcher on styles directory, and by well, pretty simple, right? By when we do any changes in our styles directory, we will run our styles task. Our styles task contain two tasks: compile styles and clean styles source map. So here is our two tasks. First, we'll compile less to CSS and add maps, and second will, a little bit trick, but again about this I will explain maybe later. So we run our watch, we change our less, yeah, like usual. We change it, we save it, we see that our compile style task works, and our CSS is updated, right? But this is how we usually work, yeah. But we also need to do the same with our DevTools, and that is why we need to that is why we need to enable these settings, enable CSS source maps and outer reload generated CSS. After enabling this setting, you will see how it great works in DevTools in Chrome. And you see, because we added source maps for our less files, you will find less files in source panel in DevTools. Yeah, here we have it. Less file, and every time when you will inspect your element here in this tab, you will see not CSS but less files. I think you got the idea. So a little bit interesting with JavaScript, because as you saw, we have here setting for outer reload generated CSS, but we don't have such setting for outer reload generated JavaScript. I don't know, maybe, I hope Chrome will add this a little bit later, but at this moment even Chrome Canary doesn't have these options. So we need to do here a little bit more work. But first I will show you that it is not not work as expected. So we have here, let's see. We have here this element, and on click we have here function. Yeah, on click on this link we will call this function, and by clicking, yeah, I got in console my string. I can change this, yep, and I can save it as I did it before, and you will see that it will be synchronized with my file, with my original file, and you see that we run here our watch, right? So in distribution we have the same changes, but when we click on this link we have still old code, but here we have new code. And let's look actually in our dist. We will see that here we have old code, so that is why it doesn't work. But yeah, because we don't have any settings in our DevTools. So to make this work, we need to add in our gulp file gulp leave reload. Yeah, and besides that, OMG, we also need to install this this application for Chrome. It's called leave reload. You can find the link on this extension in gulp leave reload repo. So we need to enable this, yes, and let's reload this, and yeah. Now it should work. Let's test it. So for example, in Chrome, right, we can change, we can save. Please save. Let's make sure it is saving. So save. Okay, I didn't get it. Let's do this again. Source script. we can change it. We click save. Yeah, and what it did, it actually reload our page. It not exactly with like CSS where we don't have any reloading, but our new code is applied. But in this case, in case with JavaScript, we will see this reloading. Yeah, but it's still better than move from editor to browser. So let's do this again, just you will see that it is work. So we change our code, our actually source code, right, in browser, we save it and it works. If you don't have any source and distribute, you could just perfect work with DevTools, because if you will change your distribution file, like for example this one, and you save it, and you actually don't need any synchronization and all this gulp stuff, because it will work very good. But if you have source file, it will not work without all this magic with gulp. Yep. So summary. I didn't add this leaf reload to compile styles task, because I don't want this page will be updating every time. So I just added this for JavaScript, and I think it will be enough. Yeah, so at this moment we have next option. We can change code in our editor, and our browser will be synchronized automatically for CSS and JavaScript. And we can change the code in our browser for JavaScript and CSS, and code will be updated in our editor. Is it not a perfect situation? I think it is. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye.